Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting flight review. Today we're checking out how we got my family all the way from Phoenix to Milan, Italy, all in business class. We used a one-way flight award on American Airlines, 57,500 miles each person, plus some taxes and fees for the lap infant. Our first flight was an overnight from Phoenix to Boston in first class, but still not all that comfortable. I really hate red eyes, especially if I don't have a lie flat. Pretty typical product, though, for American Airlines nowadays. My son did a great job, though, on the flight. He was a lot of fun. But yeah, overall, no meal service or anything here because it was a late night departure, though it had plugs. We were pretty much up the whole flight, though, because it was about 4 hours of flight time from Phoenix to Boston. Pretty quick flight, but just hard to sleep on that. We're flying business class, so we do get British Airways lounge access. In Boston, they have their own dedicated lounge. I have American Airlines Executive Platinum status, so I would have gotten access anyway, even if I was in economy. Really pretty lounge. It was cool that they did boarding directly from the lounge, too, for the British Airways flight. It's a daytime flight from Boston to London, or at least ours was. So it was an early morning departure, no booze being served in the lounge, which I thought was interesting. I think it's just due to local laws, but our bird was there on time and we were ready to go. I was really excited for this flight, not only because it was my son's first intercontinental flight, but it was my first time in the brand new Club World seats, all complete with their own door. They've been around for a couple of years now. I just haven't flown British Airways in a while. The flight attendant was super nice to our son, though, grabbing him throughout the flight, just making sure he was having a great flight. That's just really amazing to see. We had a nice little amenity kit, little bedding set up for us, nice little storage for waters here in the seat, also where the amenity kit was found, little storage underneath as well. This suite was great. Absolutely an amazing product compared to what they had before in Club World. I know some of that's still flying a little bit. Touch screens to control things. Didn't think that was really a feature I needed. A little mirror there, though, in the little vanity that they have. Let's take a look at the menu for our flight. Pretty short flight from Boston to London on this daytime flight, so we're going to have breakfast being served first. Full beverage menu, though, and then we're going to have a small little snack before landing. Breaks up the flight nicely, though, about 6 hours and a half in the air. Let's take a look at the amenity kit. White Company has been doing the amenity kits for a long time for British Airways. Pretty similar stuff found in here that were found in the amenity kits that I've had in the past. Some items for relaxation, some lip balm, some creams for your face and hands, earplugs, of course, some socks, and an eye mask. And then a small little dental kit. Overall, plenty for what you need on this flight. In-flight entertainment was really good. Lots of options on board. Love how in-flight entertainment has really improved over the last 10 years. There are just a ton of movies and television shows available. Mostly I keep the air show on. I just love seeing where I am in the air on my flights, but it's good to have those movie options. If you don't want to use the touchscreen, there are controls located underneath your seat, kind of the typical little control that you'll find on plenty of flights. Not all that intuitive to use, though, so I prefer the touchscreen. Let's take a look at the wine list as well. Air show there, and then Roman and my wife over in the seats next to us. Super easy to pass the baby back and forth with these seats, so that was really great. And then, of course, the door. The door is one of the coolest things on this seat. I know a lot of airlines have added this type of product now in the last 5 years or so. Popularized, of course, by Qatar Airways and Emirates, just with doors in first class and now business class, which is just wild. Here's a look at what breakfast looked like. Overall, pretty tasty. Nothing remarkable, nothing to write home about, but got the job done. Mid-flight, I had a little bit of tea while my son slept. And then the snack came while he was still sleeping, so I had to negotiate how to eat this while he was sleeping on me, but got the job done too. He had a great time on the flight. He did a really good job, and he's really cute. Over in London, we had a really short layover before our flight to Milan, the last flight of the day, so we stopped by the club galleries lounge, so just the business class lounge. I could have used the first class lounge with my wife, but we had more than 2 of us traveling, so we needed to get everyone into the lounge, and that was what worked. Excited to test out Club Europe for the first time in a while. Full meal on this flight, pretty short flight, less than 2 hours. Really delicious food though. So overall, I really enjoyed the service on these short haul flights with British Airways. And we made it to Stresa, Italy, which is about 45 minutes to an hour from the Milan airport. It was a lovely weekend here celebrating a friend's wedding. Roman had a great time. And we just really enjoyed the sights around here before heading into Milan proper and doing some day trips. Now, whenever possible, I try and fly business class on these long haul flights, but we had some remnant Emirates Airlines miles that were left over from a canceled pandemic flight. We needed to get 3 of us back to the States. We were already in Milan, so the Milan to JFK flight made a lot of sense. And I didn't want to transfer more Emirates miles to go and use business class, so we decided to do economy for the 3 of us, plus my son in the lap seat, which actually we were able to get some of the bassinet seats and try those out. Use my priority pass to get into one of the lounges in Milan. It was plenty fine for our purposes. You can pay to enter the Emirates lounge, which they have, but it was over $150 a person, so that was a little nuts for the 2 hours or an hour or so before our flight on the A380. So we just used the free priority pass lounge, and it was perfectly fine. Boarding was a little chaotic only because my wife got the dreaded SSSS, and we had a lap child with us, but it was handled pretty easily. We got on board fairly quickly, one of the first to board, got settled into our seats, bulkhead seats, so plenty of leg room, and then we had the bassinet above us that they set up after takeoff. Nice little amenity kit here, like the design of this one. Very eco-friendly, but they have a lot of materials here pretty similar to the types that you're going to find on business class in British Airways. So I found that pretty interesting. They had pretty much all the same amenities in economy here in Emirates, which is pretty great. Good for them. It's a great airline, flown them in every class they have available except for premium economy. Got to try that out one of these days. And then one of the coolest things ever is because we had a lap child, a flight attendant came by with his own amenity kit. So they give the babies their own amenity kit on Emirates Airlines, even in lowly economy, which is really cool. They have a lot of materials here that are great for traveling parents. You have a little diaper bag, you got a little spoon for them to feed them some food. They give you some diaper cream. Some baby wipes. And even baby food. They have baby food on board, multiple choices, just absolutely amazing. He was just barely small enough to fit in the bassinet. We got maybe 45 minutes of him sleeping in there, which was great on a flight like this. And when it was ready to feed him some food, we even had a little bib for him. By far the cutest thing, though, was the Emirates plane with a blanket. Some pretty good food on board, too. Delicious, in my opinion. Overall, that's how our flights went. Thanks a lot for watching.